I swear to God, if you don't get your criminal element out of my neighborhood, I'm going to have the homeowners association test the very soil you walk on for contaminants. That's what she screamed at me. Not a simple hello, not even a could you move your garbage can an inch, but a full-throated accusation that I was poisoning the earth with my very existence. Yeah, that happened. And let me back up a sec. This all started with me just getting the mail. Gray sweatpants, plain black t-shirt, Tuesday morning, sunshine, birds, you know, the usual. And there she was, standing on the edge of her perfectly trimmed lawn, fingers shaking with so much rage I half expected lightning to shoot out of it. The classic Karen. You could spot her from a mile away. Blonde bob sculpted to perpetual indignation, yoga pants that had never seen a yoga mat, sunglasses swallowing half her face, hiding whatever humanity might have been left in her eyes. I just stood there, mail in hand, wondering how on earth I'd ended up here. I've faced down some of the world's worst, real evil, up close, never flinched. But this was a special kind of crazy, suburban psychosis, forged in cul-de-sacs and gated communities. I gave her nothing, just a slow blink. And let me tell you, it's wild how much a lack of reaction can make a person like her lose her mind. Her face somehow got even redder. Don't you blink at me. I know what you're about. You people move in here with your fancy cars and your loud music, lowering our property values. This is a family neighborhood. I almost laughed. My fancy car was a basic black sedan, about as flashy as a school librarian's purse. The loudest music I played all week was some soft jazz while brewing coffee. I was here to decompress after a brutal case, to hide out, find some peace. Clearly, the ugliness of the world found me anyway. Only this time it was wearing Lululemon. So I finally spoke, calm and low. Ma'am, I think there's been a misunderstanding. I'm just getting my mail. That's all. To her, it was like I'd thrown gasoline on her bonfire. Misunderstanding, she shrieked, stepping straight onto my lawn, breaking the unspoken suburban treaty. I understand perfectly. You're a blight. I want you gone. I just shook my head, turned away, walked toward my door. The ultimate insult, ignoring her. I could hear her behind me, sputtering like a busted tea kettle. I slipped my key in the lock and heard an engine roar. Glanced back just in time to see her storm to her massive white SUV, slam the door. Then, honestly, you can't make this up. She cranked the wheel and floored it, not out onto the street, but straight through my fence. Splintered wood, mud trenches across my freshly cut grass, and then she was gone, leaving only exhaust and wreckage behind. I stood on the porch, mail still in hand, looking at the shattered piece I'd so carefully built for myself. And I thought, oh, lady, you have no idea who you just messed with. But you know what? My heart rate never even spiked. That's just the way I'm built. Instead of panic, my brain switched to process mode. Step 1, document. Took photos of everything, close-ups of tire tracks, the destroyed fence, a wide shot with her house and the SUV, even a video commentary, date and time, the whole 9 yards. It was all automatic, muscle memory from 1,000 crime scenes, except this one was my own yard. See, I was supposed to be on sabbatical. My director had all but ordered me. Live like a normal person, mow a lawn, read a book that isn't a case file. So I picked this bland, invisible neighborhood. Didn't use my real name. Didn't want to be known. Just the quiet new guy with neat grass and reusable grocery bags. She hadn't just wrecked my fence, she'd blown up my cover. Called the local cops, non-emergency line. Gave my regular name, reported the crime like any normal person. Dispatcher said they'd send a car when they could. Which meant, you're at the bottom of the list, buddy. So I waited, made coffee, and found her in minutes. Real name, husband's name, her glamorous real estate job, her public social media full of complaints and thinly veiled political rants. Her life was a mess. Mortgage underwater, credit cards maxed out, 2 liens on the property. That's when it clicked. She didn't just hate me for being black. She envied what I had. My peace, my paid-off car, my house bought with cash. This wasn't random. It was the start of something uglier. About an hour later, a squad car finally rolled up, 2 cops, Miller, old, annoyed, with a gut and a dated mustache, and Patterson, young and still a little too earnest. You the one who called about the fence? Miller grunted, scanning my house with suspicion. I told him, Neighbor across the street drove her SUV through it. The rookie took notes. Miller just sighed. Catherine did this? Like she was a local saint. You sure you saw what you think you saw? The classic circle the wagons move. She's one of them. I'm the outsider. Even as I showed him the tire tracks leading straight from her driveway to the wrecked fence, he shrugged. Could be anything. Kids, joyriders. Patterson looked uncomfortable. Miller didn't care. With all due respect, Sergeant, the tracks start at her driveway. Her car's right there. I watched her do it. And I'd like to press charges for destruction of property. That finally made him look at me, and I saw it. The old prejudice, the lazy assumptions. He wanted me, the victim, to pay for half the repairs as a gesture of goodwill. Yeah, that happened. I almost laughed in his face, but kept it together. I could have ended him right then. A phone call, a code word, his world gone. But that wasn't the plan. This was bigger than one dirty cop and a broken fence. So, I patched up the fence, reinforced my home, upgraded the cameras, turned my house into a fortress. Every twitch of her curtain, every car that slowed in front of my place, documented. And that evening, as the sun set, she came back. With reinforcements. Her brother, a military cosplay tough guy, arms crossed, camo pants, all bark. They didn't even knock, just stood on my porch, waiting for me to come out. I let them wait. 2 minutes passed, Catherine's smirk fading, brother shifting his weight. Then, bang, bang, bang on my door. I opened it, chain-latched. Can I help you? We're here to discuss the terms of your departure. Catherine sneered. My sister says you're a problem, her brother grunted. And I'm here to solve problems. We know you're not supposed to be here. You're gonna pack a bag, sign the house over, and leave. I laughed. Let me get this straight. You want my house, my car, and if I give you all that, you'll stop trespassing? He started ranting about military police and federal agencies. It was laughable, a cartoonish shakedown. I pushed back, asked for ID. He stammered. Catherine tried to take over, but their bluster was unraveling. I laid out my counteroffer. They walk off my property and never come back, or I press charges for everything they've done. When he tried to bluff again, I called him out, asked his MOS, his station. He had nothing. I unlocked the chain, let them see it was off, not for my safety, for theirs. Gave them a countdown. Catherine broke first, dragging her brother away, panic in her eyes. After that, the psychological warfare started. Her brother doing shirtless push-ups on the sidewalk, Catherine glaring from her window. I ignored them, kept gathering evidence. Digging into their backgrounds, I found her brother had washed out of basic training, lived off odd security jobs, always getting fired for aggression. Catherine's real estate gig was a disaster. Her house in foreclosure, her husband checked out. But then I found something worse. She was tied to a group of sovereign citizens, a cesspool of hate and entitlement. I realized my house was a test run for their radical scam. Then one Saturday, I let my guard down. In the garage, changing oil, her brother showed up behind me, fists clenched. He tried to goad me, saying, "You gonna call your cop friends? Nobody cares about you." I warned him. He lunged. Amateur, all rage, no skill. I dodged, guided him into a wall, then locked him in a joint hold, forced him down. Catherine screamed from her yard. Phone up, recording, screaming I was attacking her brother. The narrative was already spinning, but my cameras had everything. The threats, the trespassing, the punch. Sirens. Cops arrived. Miller saw what he wanted, a black man attacking a white soldier. He barked for me to be cuffed. Rookie Patterson hesitated, but Miller barked again. I stopped him, told them all 4 cameras had uploaded the truth, every second of it. Suddenly Catherine and her brother went pale. Miller scoffed, but I pressed. You'll have a lawsuit on your hands if you arrest me without reviewing the evidence. I reached for my other wallet, flipped it open, my real badge, FBI. Miller turned white as a sheet. Patterson stepped back. The whole street went silent. Sergeant, we need to talk inside, I said, authority in every syllable. I laid it all out. This wasn't just a neighborhood dispute. This was a federal investigation. Catherine and her brother were part of a hate-fueled cell, and Miller was now a material witness, perilously close to accessory. I made him help me. Full report, all dirt on Catherine and her brother. His career ended with early retirement, but he gave me everything I needed. Catherine and her brother? Charged with conspiracy, extortion, assault on a federal officer. But it didn't stop there. I dug deeper and uncovered a nationwide network, franchise hate, weaponized paperwork, targeting the vulnerable. We mapped the whole operation, built a task force. Maria, our undercover agent, got in deep. The brother flipped, wore a wire, helped take down the cell. The leader, Patriot Prime, got 30 years. Catherine lost her house, her husband, everything, and faded into irrelevance. The brother got witness protection. And then, just as life felt normal, a package arrived, a printout from a forum, using my old deep cover nickname, the Ghost of Suburbia. They knew my real name. My file had been leaked. Turns out, Croft was just a regional manager in a corporate hate machine, with tentacles in government and plans for coordinated attacks nationwide. I worked with my Ghost team, tracked them to a boutique propaganda firm, found the DOJ mole, cracked the network, and burned it to the ground before their Operation Shatter could even start. Now, the house is quiet again, the fence rebuilt, the garden thriving. Neighbors keep their distance, not from fear, but respect. Sometimes I sit on my porch and think about how it all started, with one woman screaming at a man just getting his mail. They thought they'd found an easy target. What they really found was the end of their little world. And I know now, more than ever, the war isn't over. It's just changed shape. So, what do you think? Was I right to fight back, or did I just draw a bigger target on my back? Comment below. Let's hear what you think. What would you have done if the war showed up on your doorstep?